Hello everyone and welcome. In today's video, I want to talk about what it's like sleeping in an Outback on a road trip. Let's answer some questions by going over the most obvious one. I would say sleeping in an Outback is cramped but not claustrophobic. Yes, it can be fairly comfortable, but it's mainly on you with how much you want to put in and how much you want to spend. Because the thing about sleeping in your car is it's never going to be the height of luxury, so my goal is to try and make it as comfortable as possible so when I wake up, it doesn't feel like I fell out of a 5-story building. That means investing in a good bed, which we'll get to in a second. As for space, I can move around a bit, but I'm not able to sit up proper or anything. If you do want a sitting area, one option is to leave the opposite passenger seat free, so whenever you want to take a break, you have a comfortable place to sit upright. Another thing to keep in mind is if you're tall, you won't be able to lay in the back of an Outback with the trunk closed. I'm 6'2" and my legs extend past the tailgate, which means with it closed, I have to sleep on my side. This doesn't really bother me, but if you are over 6 feet, you're probably going to have a tough time being able to extend and stretch with the tailgate closed. My advice would be to invest in a good knee pillow and you'll be just fine. Let's get on to question 2. If you take nothing else from this video, please invest in a good bed system. Your body will thank you while you're on the road. There are other places you can cut corners or save some money. Don't do this for your bed if you can. Find out what works for you and your travel flow and make it as comfortable as possible because, to me, the quality of your sleep is the single most important thing while car camping. You can go the route that I went, and that is to get a memory foam pad and trim it down to the dimensions that you want. I lay my pad right on the floorboard, but there's plenty of space if you want to add in some additional support. You can also use a sleeping bag, almost like you have a tent set up back there. This sleeping bag setup would probably be the limit of what I would recommend. Anything less than a sleeping bag and a sleeping pad would be too uncomfortable for any long road trips. However, the positive of this setup is the low footprint, and if you're a traditional camper, it's easy to roll up your sleeping bag and put it in your pack and go. And another option to try is something I haven't done myself, but other commenters have mentioned it in my other videos, that an inflatable mattress is a good option. This would be a comfortable option, but depending on the size of the mattress, your footprint could be rather large inside the back. And an inflatable mattress may be tricky to get storage in the car with you as well, which leads me to my next question. For storage, I use these handy organizers. I can put clothing in there or any car supplies I may need. I mentioned this in my no-build camper video, but I don't like using suitcases because I find they're too cumbersome to open and close while in the back or on the road. But these organizers keep the clutter down and they have pockets for any chargers or accessories I may need. As far as overall room for storage, I do solo camping, so I never found myself lacking for space, especially when using the floorboards or other car seats. However, if you car camp with somebody else, I doubt you'd have enough room for a sleeping area and all your gear in the car. So my recommendation would be to explore options for rooftop storage. Things like those covered carriers or baskets could fit all your gear and supplies that you would need. For lighting, I wouldn't count on the output from the car interior lights, and not so much the output, which they do a fair amount of, but mostly you don't want to be running your interior car lights off the battery for an extended period of time. And the solution I found that works best for lighting the interior of the car is to get one of these portable small USB lantern chargers, because you can put a carabiner on the top and then hook it to one of the car handles in the car. And I find these smaller ones that fit in your hand work better as opposed to the larger ones, because the light output on those ones are almost too much where they blind you while you're in the car. The little ones like these, I find the light output is just fine. And finally, the cheapest way to get some privacy in the car is to get privacy shades. The magnetic ones I found are the easiest to install and remove as needed, and they fit pretty much any window application. The fitment wouldn't be perfect because they're general use, but I find that it's form over fashion in this case, and anything you can put on your windows works. The permanent option that I chose is to get window tint on the car. This is a more expensive option, but with tint, it can be very difficult to see inside the car, especially from a distance. There's also the added benefit like keeping the heat down inside your car. So again, tinting is a pricey option, but worth it in the long run. And as we wrap up, the Outback is an incredible vehicle to go car camping in. I've taken it to Texas and New Mexico and Utah, and it's been fantastic. So hopefully this video helped you out in exploring some different options and showing you that there isn't just one way to build out your camper. Really, it's going to take some trips and find out what works for you and then apply that to your car. And if you're still around at this point, I want to thank you for watching the video. Every like and subscribe to the channel really does mean a lot to me, so thank you for watching.